So, what's up, YouTube? Today I was just having some thoughts about identity and what that really means for people and what that really means for ourselves. I think a lot of us go through life and take on identities that we haven't truly chosen, and we allow other people to put on us. We have our parents and people when we're in high school, guidance counselors or family members give us these things that they believe we should do and we should become a part of and we should work towards, without even really sitting back and stopping to be like, is this what I want to do? I think when you start to reach maturity, 25, 26, 27, and you start to really understand what the world is about, you start to have this shift in identity. And what that does to most people is it puts them in a place where they are afraid. You've been given this thing that you've been running with for the last 10, 15, 25 years, and then you realize, is this how I want to live the rest of my life? And that can go from being in job situations, living situations, living in what state you want to live in. Your people have sexuality issues, and it's just like, we really have to stop and look back and understand, do a kind of a deep dive. And the reason this is coming up is because it's 2025. And I think 2025 or 2026, sorry, New Year's, and people are making these promises to themselves, new year, new me, and trying to change. But a lot of people don't realize, to change, you have to know where you're coming from and understand the identity that you started with and where you want to go, and having a definition of that. And there's numerous ways that I've found to do that. So for me, when I was in college and even before that, there was an identity that was placed on me, and it was kind of the jock. It was the jock. You play sports and you party and did all that. Then I had an identity shift. And to get that identity shift, I had to realize that this is not what I wanted to do anymore. And how I did that was, one, it was reading. So I read a lot of books, and that was the first identity shift, saying I want to go from being this person who's out partying, who's watching TV, watching movies, watching shows, wasting my life, to somebody who reads. And I took that in and began reading books. The first book is the same book that most people start with. It's Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and kind of realizing that there is more out there. And that realization brought me to a bigger shift and a jump, and it actually crystallized what I wanted to do. Seeing that, okay, there's people who do this and there's people who do this, and you don't have to be, you get to choose who you want to be. And I think it was at 21 where I finally made the choice to be like, this is the person I want to be. I don't want to be like this anymore. And soon as you kind of begin to think about that, you kind of take a step back and you can kind of see the world as its own thing versus you being a part of it. And I think I step back and I look back at kind of the stuff that my friends are doing, which, again, no shame on them. I was literally just doing them. I can't judge them. But I stepped back and looked at the stuff my friends are doing, and is this how I want to continue to spend my life? And I decided no. The next shift was I moved. And I moved from where I was in the States, and I moved back home. And when I moved back home, it was right before COVID. So there wasn't a lot going on. Weren't really allowed to go out and go party or even go to restaurants. I wasn't allowed to meet up with my friends. So I spent a lot of time at home by myself, and at home in front of the computer, and at home watching stuff that were going to, and reading stuff that were molding my mind to be the person that I thought I wanted to be. And not only was it the books and the media I was taking in, it was the change of the change of location, going to somewhere else and starting fresh again. Even though I was going home, but it was starting fresh. I was in the States for however long, 6 years. and going and starting fresh allowed me to give me a new eyes, new perspective, of what I was doing and what I want to do. That sorry, there's a plow. That actually allowed me to really break my old self down and start from scratch. And I think that's why I'm able to kind of think the way I am thinking now, and looking at the people around in general, friends of friends, family members, and seeing how they think. And I just think that's how I used to think. And I do think identity and life changes are something that you can't really push somebody to do. You can try your best to teach them things, give them information, show them kind of the way that it would work, but it's hard, right? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't force them to drink. And I think everybody kind of makes these realizations on their own, or they don't. And I think that's where you wait and see. And also you have to be a vessel that is doing the thing that they look up to and say, oh, I want to do that. And I think even when I started, there were people I was looking up to and kind of just understanding, like asking the right questions, to be like, oh, that's how you got where you were. Oh, you don't do this thing anymore. You don't do this anymore. And so many of us believe that when you look at somebody, whether that be a mentor or somebody rich on TV, or somebody you just look up to in general, or a family member you see they're doing something you want to do, somebody you work with, you think some of the stuff that they're doing you need to add. And I think in this game, a lot of people who are doing stuff that you want to do, they are doing more subtracting. So everybody wants to add, oh, I gotta add these habits, I gotta wake up early, I gotta do this. But honestly, it's subtracting the things in your life that are detrimental to the goal that you want to achieve. It's not staying up, not watching that extra episode. It's not going out drinking. It's subtracting these things from your life, because it frees up time for you to, and it frees up time that will automatically get filled, if you're doing the right thing, with the place you want to be and the things you want to do to get there. So yeah, and I think, and I know these shifts, a lot of people look at what they want to be. They're standing here in point 1 and they're looking at point 100 and thinking, man, I want to be there. And a lot of people just stop because they see the distance is so far. It's just like investing. It's like people say, okay, I don't want to save because why am I saving $5? Why am I saving $10? My goal is $1 million. Like $10, what's that going to do? But it's not even. Jim Rohn talks about it, and he says the reason to become a millionaire is not for the money, it's for what becoming a millionaire will do to you. It'll change you as a person. And I think, and I know, doing these things, even though they seem like incremental steps, in Atomic Habits, he talks about getting 1% better a day. And it's like these small incremental steps will change you over time. And the younger you are, the harder it is for you to understand. Even me knowing the facts, knowing the truth, it's still hard. It's still the daily, oh, shoot, I got to do this. Well, I could also just fuck this off and not do this. But it's pushing yourself to be like, I know it's only one day. Let's go for it. And it's just stacking wins. I think every day the goal is to get another win. Stack more wins under your belt. And build that confidence, because all confidence is proving to yourself that you can do this thing. So the more you do it, the more confidence you get, and the more you want to do it. And we are human. We will mess up. We will do things that go against our norms and go against the beliefs we have. We're human. That's just how life goes. But the goal is push. Realize your identity. Understand where you want to go. And just try to get 1% closer a day. I'm writing something new right now, and just writing a chapter on kind of death and looking back at your life. And a lot of times people realize that, or they say that time passed by so quickly. And you hear that from your parents, your grandparents, anybody older than you. It's just like, how is it already 2026? And what they realize, what is, there's different psychological principles. One of the principles talks about the fact that time feels shorter if there's not enough new things going on in your life. If there's no novelty, that's why when you're younger, time feels so long. Because every day you're learning something new, every day you're doing something new, you're seeing new places, you're meeting new people, and everything's so new to you. Your day's filled up with things that are just like, your brain is just learning and moving and grooving. But as you get older, the novelty fades, and you fall into this monotonous routine. And you're doing the same thing every day. So, okay, I went to the gym the same day today, and I went to work, and I sat at the office for this long, and then after work I went home and I cooked dinner and watched a little TV, then went to bed. And that day is repeated over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. So they all mold into, not one, but they mold. And there's no novelty, so that your days are just the same. So, with that being said, back to the point of identity, it's and getting 1% better a day. It's, you have to push yourself to do something. Either do something new, learn something, get 1% better, read something different. Because when we look back at this life, we're going to have this realization that time did pass by fast, and what did we do with it? So you don't want to look back. 10 years is gonna go whether we like it or not. 10 years is gonna pass. So what are we gonna do in those 10 years? So choose where you want to be, choose your identity, and push for it. So that's my little thought for the day. And yeah, thank you for listening. If you got this far, subscribe, give me a like, subscribe, whatever. Thank you.